John, you there?
Hi, Eric. Yeah, it's John.
Cool. Okay. Seems different today for some reason. I wonder if Zoom changed some stuff on us. For the checklist stuff, like as far as the referrals and the checklist, I'm gonna do that and email that over to you like right after the meeting. I'm working on some of it right now. But just so we don't have to go through it during the Zoom meeting, if there's anything that people see, we'll note it. But specific checklist items, I'll get that to you immediately after the meeting.
Like you'll scan it or something like that?
Yeah, I'll scan it and email it over.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I'm going to log off and start again. My camera's not on.
Okay.
I'll be back.
All right.
I don't know why I'm not coming up on my camera. I'll keep trying.
There should be something on like the bottom left if you like kind of scroll over the video that says like share video. There you go.
Okay, here we are. Okay, got it.
There's somebody on the call, Larry's iPhone. Who's that? Lance is here.
Here comes Lance.
Yep.
I'm here. Good morning, guys.
Hi, Lance.
Hey, Lance. Larry's iPhone. Who is that? Joyce, can you hear us? I'm not sure you have your audio set up just yet.
Good morning.
Hey, Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi, John. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. Larry's phone.
Yeah.
Lance is on.
Yep, I'm on. Good morning.
Good morning, Lance.
Happy Easter to everyone.
Yes, same to you. Easter buddy come to your house for the kids?
Yes, we did.
Easter egg hunts are always fun.
We had a blast. We made the best of it, I guess.
Yeah, I think we all did.
I guess we're still waiting on Chuck. As I mentioned in the one email, Brendan Marks is going to join us at 9 to do the Wurges application over on Water's Edge or just Island Beach. And then Anthony Venezzi is going to join us at 9:30 to go over his applications.
Eric, did you say one application could be removed?
Yeah, it was 20-026 McMillan on Emerson Road.
Okay,
You got a Mike Francisco with us. Are you here for the application for Wurges, Larry Wurges? No, no audio.
Click it.
Good morning.
There we go.
Morning.
Morning, Kyle.
Hello.
There we go. All right, Brennan,
Yeah, I'm at it twice, Eric.
I see
That's
that.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I usually just put my phone for my audio and video, and then my laptop or my computer's on the main.
Okay.
In case you guys care to see my screen.
Let's see. Just kind of waiting for Chuck here.
Morning, John.
morning. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Kyle Barber. Brennan, are all these
There we
people
go.
in your crew here?
Yeah, Kyle Barber is with New Energy.
Okay.
Ty Allen's probably with New Energy. He said he was going to be on, and Mike is with me.
Okay. Another one from New Energy.
What's
That's
that?
happy we did this virtually. This would be a very big meeting to have in person.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of nice with the virtual stuff. It lets people that normally wouldn't be there,
Yeah.
be there. So
Hop on for a couple minutes.
are you you home or are you at the office, Eric?
I'm at the office for the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. There's Chuck.
How many applications this month?
8, I think.
Come on, really?
Yeah, I was surprised too.
We had a lot.
Do we make the lower numbers? Are we the first on the list?
Yeah, I think actually, no, one person had their applications in before you, but you sent yours in through email. So you were next on our list. Where is Chuck? We should probably just get started since we're on a schedule here anyways. You, Chuck, an email, I guess. And Lance, I don't know if you have Chuck's cell phone. Would you mind oh, there he is. Never mind.
Yeah, I just texted him. I'll text him again. You want me to
No,
give him a
he's
call?
with us now.
Okay.
Or he should be. I just added him. There you go.
Yeah, there
Now
you go.
Chuck's with us. Okay. So we'll get started. The first one we're going to talk about today is the, what is it? CPN 20024 marks for Larry Wurges. So you guys want to introduce to us the project and what's going on here?
Yeah, I can. Let's see here. Do you care to see my screen or?
I've always set these meetings up to where I can't, but I am going to pull the site plan, show everybody. Just let me know what you want to see, I guess. If there's
Yeah.
anything.
Well, I guess probably the first thing would be the existing conditions, or if you encore or whatnot.
Just sorry. It's loading up.
Sorry.
You able to join?
I don't have, I mean, I can do it on the computer through the telephone.
Did you get the email with the Zoom meeting details? Sorry, it's just loading up.
I did, but, I mean, it's up to you.
Morning, Chuck.
Good morning.
If you could.
Good morning, Chuck. It's Joyce.
Morning, Joyce.
It's annoying. There we go. All right, so there's the existing conditions.
Right. So we've got an existing cottage. It's relatively close to the lake. It's actually part of it is in the floodplain. It's aging. It's starting to fail. It's basically outserved its time. So their plan is to tear down that existing cottage, and we're going to remove utilities and a couple trees to construct a new. You're on the right path there, Brian, or Eric. Sorry.
Okay.
Let's construct a new 2,500 square foot single family residence with a attached garage. Further setback from the lake, as you can see, there's a house north and south there. There those hatched in boxes. Our intent was to more or less line the house up with the front of those two houses so that we're not obstructing anyone's view of the lake, and also kind of being consistent down the shoreline. The grade does drop across the site pretty good. It's roughly, I want to say roughly 20 feet across the site from the lake to the Water's Edge Drive. So we have a little bit of grade to work with or to deal with. So there's going to be a walkout basement, and it's a ranch house. There'll be a driveway off of Water's Edge Drive, and actually that strip along the south there is a public right of way that we still haven't figured out who owns it, but it looks like it's a town or county owned 10-foot wide right of way. But so let's see, we have drainage. We're collecting all the roof leaders and conveying them to grass swales, and then ultimately a dry well, which is on the north east corner of the property there, just before you get to the lake. Dry well is going to promote infiltration and absorption to the ground, and then if it does, the larger storms will overtop that, and it'll go overland to the lake. The house will be connected to the sewer system with the new force main or pump station and force main on the north side of the house there. There's going to be a short retaining wall just next to that pump station, between that and the dry well, just to fix the grade between the neighbor and us, because the walkout and the neighbor's property to the north is about 3 to 4 feet different. So we have to put a retaining wall in there just to make the grading better between the two properties. We're going to keep 3 trees on the site. There's 2 trees, like I said, that are going to be removed. They are mostly black walnuts. They are black walnuts. They're older. We have to remove those trees to basically demolish that building. So shoreline guidelines, since you guys, I know you're going to ask, what we're doing to help the shoreline guidelines is when we're keeping the tree up front, we're also pushing the house back away from the shoreline from existing to create that green space between the house and the lake, and keeping as much vegetation as we can there. So it'll be more setback and more it'll be similar to the remaining properties down the lake, north and south. So
All right, I just want to pull up the elevation drawings too, just to see kind of like what building materials you guys are going with anyways, if it shows up here.
yeah,
What kind of colors are you guys going with? Is it, since new energy, is it going to be more kind of like wood styled, I guess?
Yeah, I'll jump in here, Bren. Hi, this is Ty Allen. I run our design build division. Yeah, I think the desire of the clients, the house is a little bit more of a, I don't want to say modern, but the lines are a little simpler. But I think we're going to augment that with some wavy edge siding and some, more rugged or rustic colors, browns, grays, that sort of thing. Maybe some green mixed in, but I think it'll be more in keeping with sort of a lake type feel. It won't be ultra modern or anything like that. So.
All right, back to the site plan here. Does anybody have any questions for them, comments or anything while they're here with us?
Do we have a landscaping plan?
no landscaping plan. We're proposing some landscaping at the front there on Water's Edge, and we're planning to have lawn down to the lake and keep the larger old growth walnut that's there.
So you want to reread the shoreline guidelines when it talks about making sure that there is vegetation in order to minimize the expanse of the house. So you probably want to take a look at that and then maybe let us know. I'm sure the ECB is going to have some questions regarding how you plan to landscape according to the shoreline guidelines.
Yeah, and also in shoreline. I mean, the only other option really that the owner has here is to reconstruct the house where it is and the same footprint. So helping the shoreline and addressing the shoreline guidelines by moving the house back off the lake and providing that green space. And we are keeping some of the old growth trees there. I'm sure the owner would be okay with adding some landscaping. I'm sure they plan to landscape the front of the house. So yeah, we
Okay,
can show some landscape beds up there.
That'd be great. And I do appreciate, and I'm sure the ECB will too, your, the steps that you're taking to move the house, the development back.
Yeah.
As far as the swales go, is there any opportunity for, on my computer here, I can't see this, the site plan as clearly as I'd like. So is there any opportunity for rain gardens? Where's the runners, where runners from the house coming down, anything like that available?
We looked at it. The swales are the grade across the site is relatively steep. So in order to grade a flat or a pond or a rain garden in is actually relatively difficult without maybe putting additional walls in and some structure that we wouldn't necessarily put on a site like this. So that's kind of where we stuck with the grass swales. They're going to promote infiltration. They're going to promote treatment through the grass and whatnot. And then the dry well up front made more sense than a rain garden for access and maintenance. And we're relatively close to the water table elevation at the bottom of the dry well. And rain garden, I know you want to have that 2-foot separation. So.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Does the house have a basement, Brennan?
Yep. Walkout basement.
Okay.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, yeah, okay. And how's that in relation to elevation? It's well above the water line. Okay.
700, I think the flood elevation is gonna be 691.7, so about 8 feet.
Okay. What variances do you need?
So we need a front setback variance, which is the front being off of the water's edge,
Right.
which is 15 feet from the 55 required. So the house is going to be 35 feet off of the right of way on water's edge. We need a coverage variance, a lot coverage variance. Our impervious area, I think, is 46%. The required is 30%. So we're
Way over.
Yeah.
yeah, we are
Way
it's
over.
a small lot, and there's
Okay,
a
so
typo
then,
right there.
you know, then you start thinking about pavers here, you know, pervious surface pavers or something so that you can eliminate that. Are you thinking about a deck or anything also off that?
Yeah, there's a deck surrounding it. Yeah.
What about a patio on that bottom floor? That.
Yeah, we included the deck in the impervious area.
You did, okay.
So if they did below it with pavers, then it would be impervious. I asked Eric about the impervious driveway versus the gravel. They're still considered impervious.
Yeah, I can't see that. That's all gravel then in the driveway?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And so you've got 46% without the inclusion of the driveway? Is that what you're saying?
No, we include the driveway in calculations.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, setback and lot coverage, is that it for variances?
No, building coverage also.
Oh, building coverage.
Yeah, we're 5.1, and there's a typo right there, Eric. That 45 is the 44.5 is supposed to be 46.3 for lot coverage. Building.
Can you make that revised change and get that over? I guess so.
Yep.
You can get that in the next revision. Just make sure
we'll send it on Friday.
That's an important one.
It was just a calculation, and we calculated lot coverage several times. So,
okay.
Did we get applications for all the variances?
You should have. Yep.
Not sure.
Burgess.
Because what I have on my thing is you have one application and multiple tests for granting area variances.
We submitted 3 variance applications. I can tell you that.
Okay. Okay.
We should have it. I organized it so there was only there was a bunch of repeated sheets, so I kind of
okay. So you just did the test for sounds good.
But there are extra copies we held. You gave us like 3. I kept those together still, so there's like we have extra copies too, so they're all together.
Yeah, so the third variance is the building lot coverage. We're 5.1 over on 20% required. So we're requesting a 5.1% variance. And that includes the decks and includes the buildings, includes everything that's attached to the building. So it's a relatively small existing lot on the lake.
Do you know for like the neighboring properties or that neighborhood, have similar variances been granted recently or in the past?
Yeah, well, there's a newer house, 2 slots to the north that was newly done. I gotta imagine they got several variances for that because and we will look into it before the ZBA meeting. I mean, we could foil it and get that information.
Yeah, probably the easiest way to do it.
Along with the showing the landscaping for the RLD, or excuse me, the shoreline guidelines, you're also asked to provide a narrative describing how you intend to comply. If it hasn't been submitted, it should be before the reviews are done.
Yeah, we will for sure.
You're going to use the existing sewer lateral, or no, you're putting an injection. Okay.
Yeah, new force main up to the lateral. The lateral connection's just off of the edge of the pavement there.
To the west, is that a access easement to the next lot? Is that off of Water's Edge?
Yep.
Okay. And what's the utility it's running? I can't read it from.
Sanitary, and then there's water just running just outside of it.
Okay.
Eric, do the steep slope guidelines codes apply here? I'm just I'm thinking about the retaining wall and that. how tall a retaining wall is and if they have, and if the application has complied with a steep slope if necessary.
We marked the slope on there, didn't we? No, we didn't.
Brendan, do you know what that percentage is? I guess you should probably.
Give me a second here. I'll measure it.
Yeah.
We'll definitely label it.
And then
revise
Also, Eric, the retaining wall, side setback, accessory structure.
yeah, we'll check that.
Okay.
If that does need variances, we'll put it in the
Is that
determination.
what if we drop that down to 3 foot max height?
The retaining wall. I'm not sure that the height makes a difference as far as that goes, but it may for the steep slope rules. So just the big thing with the steep slopes, anything over 15%, and then calculate how much disturbance is in that slope area. But if you have any questions about that one, Kyle or I can help you out with it, making sure that everything's shown that needs to be.
The ECB will have questions, I'm sure, so we'll get some clarity at our meeting from Eric or Kyle.
I assume that's a yes, Joyce.
What's that? Was that, were you waiting for an answer from me?
No.
No. I'm just making a comment.
Sorry.
We'll get some clarity when you provide all that information. Kyle, and
Yeah.
Yes, well,
All right. Good morning, Brendan. This is Lance. As it relates to the stormwater, as you know, anything over 20,000 square feet of disturbance requires us to do stormwater conveyance of a 2-year storm event, obviously, with the dry well being proposed. My only question that I have, at least as it relates to that, is has, at this point, any infiltration testing been done or no?
No.
Okay. And then as it relates to the retaining wall, we're going to need to have a detail of that retaining wall too, at some point.
Okay.
Okay. I mentioned it to John a little bit earlier. I'm going to go through the checklist and the referral sheet and then send it out after, so we don't have to go through that right now.
Bless you, son.
yes, thank you.
Lance, this is John. Is this a type 2 seeker?
Yes, correct. Single-family residential construction is considered type 2 under seeker.
And Eric, does this go to Ontario County Planning?
Probably multiple area variances.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Brennan, with the overhead electric running over the driveway, is there going to be enough height there with construction vehicles? I'm assuming there is, but
Yeah, we're gonna have to set a new pole. That overhead's all proposed as new. There are the owner's already contacted RG&E to relocate the wires. They've started that process.
okay.
Okay.
Nothing being done along the lakefront, correct?
Nothing being done on the lakefront, just removing the house.
Okay.
Do you guys have any other questions before we let them go?
I'm good. Chuck's good.
I'm good.
But I think my questions related to stormwater have been addressed.
Thanks a lot. I'm all set.
Hi, guys.
We'll
Bye, Brennan.
quickly.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay. Anthony is not with us just yet. So we'll have to wait a minute for him to join.
Eric, this is John. I have the zoning board meeting for May 19th and the planning board meeting for May 26th.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
When are you looking at it, Joyce?
What's that? Oh, we're looking at it May 5th, I think, something like that. I'll have
Okay.
to,
Look forward to your review.
yeah, it's the 7th, May 7th.
Yeah, put all your stuff right there.
Say, Kyle, are you going to have the exploratory app stuff on the site for Wurgis for these applications soon?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. It might be a little more staged. Like I might have to. I'm not sure how my computer handles it. I'm sure it should be fine.
Oh, yeah.
It might go a little slow, but I'll put it up.
Okay, don't, I was thinking actually about the surrounding areas so that the ECB can get a look at that and see what we're looking at. But whatever you can do, we appreciate.
Yeah, I'll get it up there.
Okay.
Kyle, have you done zoning determinations on all of these?
Oh no, not yet. That's gonna be about a week probably before that happens. Because I just organized it and put it up Friday or so. But
Okay.
I'm working on it today.
Okay. Eric, is Bill Grove going to join us for the
No,
20?
just because it was a simple site plan for a single family residential, I didn't feel it was necessary.
So Anthony's the only guest.
Yeah, he's the last remaining one. John Casey, he said might want to join. They got the details and whatnot, so just waiting for them if they are ready. And then we'll go over, I guess, John Casey's, the one for Fall Park, the Vestal one, and then the rest of them are relatively simple. I guess we can go over the gray application, but that one's more of an update. They're revising a previously approved plans.
And the chicken coop flew the coop, right?
Yeah, that one's fine.
Yeah.
Eric, while we're waiting, I see the email you sent to Bob regarding Thomas and Brickyard.
Yep.
Along with that plan. That is not the plan we got in the mail. The plan we got was different. So I guess most of the planning board members are looking at a plan that's different from what the latest plan, I guess.
That one was, that one that I sent has been on the FTP site for a little while. They sent it in pretty much right before all the offices got shut down and before that planning board meeting was canceled last month.
Which plan? The one that was mailed out to the members or the one that's on the FTP site?
The one on the FTP site.
Okay. All right, well then I guess we should inform the members that the plan that they got in the mail is not the current plan. Because it doesn't show that extension of the road into the industrial site.
Yeah.
Well, it shows the stub, but it doesn't show the actual extension. The
Yeah,
lots.
it's different.
Can we move on to one of the ones that does not involve Anthony until he shows up?
Sure. Is there one that you want to talk about?
You know them better than I do.
If we
Guess
could
we
go to
could-
one that's, you know, in the RLD, that might be helpful then.
Well, the rest of the ones in the RLD are Venezia's applications.
Oh, okay. All right.
We quickly talk about the marks for Neubauer one, which is just a
Okay.
new single-family home on Grimble Road.
Sure.
So,
Grimble.
yep. There's your location, 32, right there.
Uh-huh.
It's a relatively steep site.
Oh,
12%. I guess it's not that bad.
are they 1 foot contours?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why it looks worse than it is. Okay.
So, there you go. Long driveway up. Swale right there, check dams. There's a septic area. I believe they provided elevations for this one too. But again, new home, single family home, meets all setback requirements. We'll have to check just to make sure the grade's okay.
Yeah, the driveway grade. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very steep. And make sure they're paving at least the portion of the road that's inside the right of way.
Yeah.
I don't see a note regarding the pavement.
They also disturbed 42,800 square feet. So these
Do they
are-
have that noted? Is that noted on the plans, Chris? I didn't see that.
It's noted in the plans. It's called limited disturbance 4280. But the thing is when they go actually to build this thing, it's so much more than that usually.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you look at the septic system and like how they did the limited disturbance, they never just do that little tiny path. They just
Yeah.
bulldoze the whole
thing.
site. And I hate being that bad guy after the fact and stuff like that, but I just want to make them very aware that they'll get shut down.
If they go
That's not a
outside.
bad thing. What's the lot cover, what kind of resources are on the lot before they do all this disturbance?
It's just pretty much just an open
Rubbing.
field inside of a
Pretty
tree
much
line.
cleared already.
Tree line.
Okay.
Anthony's going to join us right now. Anthony, there? Where are you here? Anthony, can you hear us? He's working on it.
All right, man.
Yep, you're in.
You're in.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep, not a problem.
Good morning, Anthony.
Morning.
Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning.
Which one do you want to do first?
You pick. This is
The hard
new.
one.
Let's do an easy one first. Get Gray out of the way. Just tell us what's changing, and then we'll go over
The only
what
thing
he's
with
saying.
Gray that's changing is we are just shifting it a little farther to the north. We laid it out. They knocked the house down, and they ended up laying it out. And the owner wanted to shift it to the north a little bit because the house on the south is only 6 feet from the property line. So they're really close to the south property line. You wanted to just have, and then the north house is a little farther away from the property line because they have a bigger property. So we wanted to shift it to the north to try to get a little bit more gap between him and his neighbor to the south. The old house is about a foot away from the property line. So we're still within that ability to not have to mess around with the variance. And we stick with the same 10.8 foot variance that we got last year. That's really the only thing that changes.
Okay. So that one will have to go back to the zoning board because the plans changed, and then it'll go back to the planning board immediately after that.
Why does it have to go back to the planning board?
What's that?
Why does it have to go back to the plan or zoning board?
Because the zoning board approved it based on the condition, or on the condition that It's to the plans presented to them. Blah, blah, blah.
So,
So
are they gonna re-vote it?
essentially, yeah.
Okay.
But that's Venezia for Gray. That was the last one on the email that John sent out.
What's the address on that one?
I think the address in this email might be off. Island Beach Drive. You know,
Yeah, 4951.
is that right? I can't, it doesn't seem to show up on Encore anyways.
Yeah.
This is John. On the original application, it was 4959
Oh,
Island Beach. Might just be a typo.
yeah. Okay. So,
So
anyways.
that house is down, or it's going to be down?
The house is down.
It's down. Okay.
Yep. The house is down and they constructed the barn or the garage already.
Right, which is over here. Okay.
How long ago was it approved? I mean, how far back does it go? May of 2019. Okay, gotcha. So it's about a year. Gotcha. Answer my own
What
question.
CPN is this? I'm just trying to find the site plan.
I can't find it either.
CPN 19029.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Because you have the property at 5 foot, so you're still good as far as the other stuff.
We'll send this one to Lance too, to get his review on it. But okay, since this one is an amended site plan, we'll go through a slightly different process.
Okay, so that'll be on zoning and planning at the end of May.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, that out of the way. Let's talk John Casey.
Okay. So what he's looking at doing is the paver patio. He's got the approval for that accessory structure. That is shifting a little bit, so I'm assuming, I mean, this is gonna have to go to zoning board anyway because of the setbacks. So he obviously started work and he was put on a stop work order because he was doing something that he wasn't approved. So what he wants to do is he wants to put this paver patio in. Right now, he added that retaining wall. That's existing, that's stabilized behind it. And the lift to the north is in. So what he's looking at doing, the lift to the north is so he can, it's for his wheelchair so he can get in and out. And then that proposed natural stone path, he'll be able to get his scooter in there and then also into that accessory structure. And it's just a shed with some power and stuff like that. He doesn't have the bathroom or anything in it yet, but he is allowed that down the road. We are at that 2 feet above the floodplain with that first floor. And he's just going to put a couple plantings in front of it and some steps down to the front to just kind of shade it from the lake.
Okay. As far as variances and stuff, the retaining wall, the lift, the patio, those are all accessory structures, so you're going to have to apply for all those variances as well.
Okay, I'll let him, he wanted to do the application process, so I'll let him know. Or if you guys can just write an email. He wanted to handle the application totally, so if you just email him and give him a list, he'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now it's 0 foot on the south side. It's whatever it is on the north. The existing lift is 0 to the road.
Yeah, I'll put those dimensions on it so we know what they are exactly.
When we do our determination make sure everything's in order. We'll send John an email, make sure we have all the applications we need.
Yep, and just let me know other dimensions. I'll add a bunch of dimensions to the wall and everything, because I know that the wall wasn't planned, but they put it in there. You put it in.
If you can see the screen right now, this dimension we'll need.
Yep, from the.
We might not, because the retaining wall is closer to
we
it.
need 0. Okay.
And he's gonna he went over the line a little bit with that retaining wall. I told him he's got to pull some of it off. So he's gonna come away from that. I told him he's got to reconstruct it.
Yeah, we also need to check footers and stuff like that, but that's a whole nother building thing.
Yeah.
Let's say, I know he's well below his lot coverage allowance because the lot's so big.
Yeah, he's got a 20-acre lot, so I can run it, but it's gonna be like 1.
Yeah, I would just add it just so everybody's aware.
Yeah, I can put a little note of what it is.
Have you guys reached out to the county? I know I can't remember all the details of it, Anthony, but I thought there was some planning board questions as it relates to the existing connection to County Road 16.
And I think the county had some questions too.
The county, I know, went out there and kind of were yelling at him about that existing retaining wall, because it wasn't planned, but they came out and they measured it and they deemed that it was outside the right of way, so they kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, but the lift now is in the right of way and stuff, so he's going to need some county permits as well.
Yeah, this is going to have to go to county. So I mean, with the variances and everything, I'm sure the county's going to see it.
Okay.
Okay.
Isn't there some trees down there too?
There's one tree. I can put it on there's just one tree at the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the plans.
It's like right in that curve, right? See where it says proposed natural stone path is like right in that area where your cursor was.
Yeah, Eric, if you look in the directory, I moved the photos and stuff into that directory as well.
Yeah, I'll add that to the plan.
So regarding that tree, we want to make sure that the disturbance area does not come in contact with the tree roots. So want to make sure that they're protected as far as the canopy goes around, by the canopy.
It's definitely, I mean, that proposed natural stone path is under the canopy of that tree. So it's a very large tree, so it's kind of hard to get around that. But I can.
Yeah, it's within about a foot of it. The other pavers are within a few feet of it.
Yeah. Could be problematic, a few years from now.
Okay.
I guess the shoreline guidelines will apply to the accessory structure. I see you have a planting bed, but if you could show us what it's going to look like from the lake, that building, that would certainly be helpful too.
I mean, I can ask him what he wants to put in there. But.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just putting a shed or if he's going to build something on site or.
John, will you add
and
that?
How tall is it going to be as far as because the
What is he
maximum height
allowed?
of accessories is 10 foot.
He's allowed 10 foot. I'll ask him to see what he wants because he might need a variance for that if he wants to go higher.
Well, with the stairs and everything like that, it's going to end up being higher.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to see because we have the average grade and do those calcs and see what he wants. So I'll have to talk to him.
We'll need that information for our determination.
Okay, I'll let him know today to determine what he wants.
And then, John, if you could add like a shoreline guideline statement to the PRC minutes that they should provide them.
Okay.
Yeah. And as far as the accessory structure, it looks like he's run a bunch of different utilities already to it as far as like sewer, septic, water, electric, and everything like that.
I think he did water and electric. I don't think he did septic. I don't think he did septic, but
anyway.
I'll double check.
So are you saying that they should be shown on the plans?
If he's going to do it in the future, yeah.
Do you want to see the
He just needs
utility
to
lines on
describe
the plans?
if he's running some. I mean, right now I'm looking at the photo and it's got 2 PVCs, 3 black pipe, another one. So
Yeah, he definitely
got a
ran
bunch of
some
stuff there.
water and things of that nature. So I'll see what he ran, and
Somebody asking for me?
Say that again?
No.
I'll
I
talk
thought
to
someone
John
said-
and see what he ran.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if he put footers in for those retaining walls or the lift walls or stuff like that. 'Cause, I mean, we didn't get called for any inspections or anything. So,
That lift, if you can go down there and check that lift, it's sitting on a concrete pad.
but I'm saying I need some details on the concrete pad because if it's not built down to frost line and everything like that, we're going to have it torn up and relook at it.
All right, I'll let him know. I'm not an architect or engineer, so I can't really do that stuff, but we can find one.
Yep.
Just turn it into more of a project than the house was.
Yeah, yeah.
The house was easy.
Lance, is there anything you need on this one?
No, I mean, I think Chris nailed it. I think the biggest, at least from just a quick review, is the county approval of whatever's in there right away. And that should be part of whatever we get in order to move it along, because otherwise it's gonna have to all get ripped out. So whatever we can get up front from the county based on their review would be helpful. And then the rest of it, go from there.
Okay. We'll make sure this goes to the county.
And you guys should summarize the variances required. I mean, we talked about a lot of different
Yeah.
issues, so that should be either on a
Because
in a
the thing,
narrative
if you
or on the
really look
plan.
at it, building anything within the public right of way is a code violation. Not even like it's a New York State code violation. So
without a permit or a period.
no, there's no such thing as a permit for building something in a right of way.
Okay.
Unless it's just for access.
There's different sections of code about projections into the public right of way.
Yeah, well, I think we've kind of covered everything. Chuck, with your comment about summarizing everything, was that for us as staff or for the applicant?
No, so that everyone knows what the variances, what variances are needed and for how much, what the variation is. Because again, during our conversation here this morning, we talked about a lot of different potential variances required. So I just somehow summarize it either on the plan or in some sort of narrative.
Okay, well, we'll have, I suppose you could call it a summary in our determination anyways. If they need more variances than they applied for, they'll have to make application or else be removed from the agenda. So our determination will cover all that stuff.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
That's
you're right.
good.
Kyle can cover that as long as he's got them all.
I have one more additional question. Is there any lighting going on over here? We proposing to light anything? Building, pathway, dots?
I'm not sure.
Shed.
I'll talk to him.
John, if you could add that to the PRC minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else on this one that you guys want to go over? Again, I'll go through the checklist referrals and send them out to everybody afterwards.
I'm
I'm
good.
good. Move on.
All right. Next one will be the Vestal on Fallbrook Park. Okay. All right, Anthony, what's going on here?
Okay, so it is a Fallbrook Park project. It's your standard tear down rebuild. This is a little bit different. This one actually has a pool in the front yard that they're actually going to remove.
We say front, I mean lakeside.
Yeah, it's on the lakeside. So it's between the house and the lake right now. They're going to remove that, remove the house, the existing house, and we're going to rebuild a structure on it. We're staying within the only variance we're looking at is going to be a building coverage variance, because our lot coverage is quite large now because of the pool in the house. But that obviously the lot coverage, the building coverage is smaller now, but we're still going to stay under that overall lot coverage.
Can you send assuming you guys did a survey on it, so you can give us like a strict existing conditions without.
Didn't I send that in the packet?
We got it. Is this what you're talking about here?
Say that again?
On what I'm sharing on my screen, is this what you're referring to? If I had got it?
No, I should have said, you should have got an existing conditions map.
I mean,
in the PDF that I sent. I might not have sent it. But yeah, I will, if you do not have it in the final paperwork, it'll be included.
Yeah, I don't think we did get it.
Anthony, any those trees come down? See, there's something there in the back.
Yeah, there's the cherry tree, and then there's that large tree on the south that's going to be removed, just because of the house, and we're going to be into the drip edge.
Okay.
So it'll hurt the tree in the end, and it'll end up having to come up in a couple of years.
Hey, Anthony?
Yes.
You show the house only 3 feet from the property line?
Yep.
I'm not going to permit it. I mean, you're not going to have any windows. You're not going to have any doors. You're not
Okay,
it's
so
building code.
that is something that our architect wants to talk to you directly, Chris, because I mentioned that, and he brought up a whole thing of rules and whatnot. So that's something that the architect will go through with you.
I just want you to be 100% aware of it. I mean, if you get all the way through this and everything like that, and you had to push it to 5 feet, you're back at the beginning of planning board and zoning board.
I will have the architect reach out to you directly to discuss that, because I said the same thing, because I knew we talked about it on Gray, but he was looking at the building code and everything, and he said that he did some architecture talk.
Okay, yeah, just as long as he contacts me and is aware of it.
I'll have him call you this week.
Yeah, I would suggest for the record, Anthony, that we have something in writing from the applicant stating that he understands that that's a possibility. Just something so that we don't look silly moving it along, and then all of a sudden.
What I'd prefer you guys do is move it along, and I will have Chris and the architect link up, because I had that conversation with the architect, and he said that I don't really know what the laws are exactly for that, and it's just better if Chris and the architect directly talk, and I'll have him reach out to Chris today.
That's fine. I'm just saying for the record, we could have something in writing.
Joyce, I think your audio is.
Yeah, I don't know if that's mine or not. If it is, I'll call back.
No, it's better now.
All right. Sorry about that, guys.
You want me to put, this is John, do you want me to put something in the minutes regarding what you're asking for?
I think there should be some acknowledgement, as Chris mentioned, with concerns on that. I don't know what side of the building he has.
I mean, he's allowed to do projections and openings at 3 feet and stuff like that. So as long as he understands that he's aware of the fire separation distance, But the thing is I don't like houses within 3 feet. I'd recommend denying the permit at 3 feet.
Right.
Unless they want to sprinkler the house. I really don't think building houses, and I'll talk to the fire chief too, and he's stated that in the past as well, that building houses right on top of each other, because the next house could be
Yep.
3 feet away too.
Yep.
It's
No,
just a poor decision.
And I think we need to have something in the record that says that this conversation has happened.
Who would deny that permit to be 3 feet off the line?
I would write a recommendation to the zoning board that they deny it because the fire separation and the concern over the proximity of other houses on the street.
The zoning board doesn't have a rule on this because of, we are actually on the property line now with the existing house. So how would we handle that?
It doesn't matter with the existing house. You're building a new house.
The zoning board can consider pretty broad items. You're right that they're not going to be considering that specific setback, but if they're reviewing it, they can take that into consideration.
Okay. I'll let everybody know that then on my side. And like I said, I'll have the architect contact Chris today.
Yep.
All right, so you guys submitted a shoreline statement.
Yep.
And then there's landscaping.
You got the landscape plans at the end of the site plan. There's also a color rendering that we attached.
All right, there it is. I guess that's the
Yeah, see, I knew I said that.
There's the color rendering.
Yep, there you go. So now there's a spa in the front. Do we have to get a variance for that since we were taking out a pool and putting a spa in?
No, you already have one there. You're not expanding a pre-existing nonconformity, although.
The patio down by the water.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. I'm not sure.
If you look at the existing conditions, there's a deck right on top of that, like right where that patio is, kind of. So they have that patio and they have a deck and everything. Everything's kind of there already. So.
So that spa, does that sit like in the footprint of this structure here? I guess I'm curious if that needs a variance because it's inside the setback area.
We'd have to take a look.
Just have to check on that. I'm going to do a statement of pre-existing nonconformity for this one. The existing conditions plat should show essentially as much information as possible, setback-wise, what's there so that we can use it.
Okay.
And I'm sure you're probably going to submit that same sheet that Pete submitted in the past as far as the different variances granted.
Yeah, we have that.
Okay. Okay.
And I mean, the existing house now is like a foot over the line.
Yeah.
It's closer now than it is, you know. There's a couple property line agreements and boundary line agreements on that line that are going to get cleaned up as well.
On this sheet that you're showing here, the site demolition and erosion control, can you overlay like that pool area too? Or the spa, I guess, to see where that is.
Oh, the spa on that, the outline?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Where's the on lot coverage and building coverage?
On the cover sheet. We're within all this, within everything that was there now. The only thing that we're looking for to get a variance on is building coverage.
So essentially, the pool was considered part of lot coverage previously.
Exactly.
Now it's gone.
You can see our lot coverage right now currently is at 58.7, and we're dropping it about 5%. But we're actually increasing from 24 to 35 with the building coverage due to the pool and things of that nature.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
And the breakdown's all there.
Anybody else have any questions? And I'm going to unmute you in just a second too.
So they need a flood development permit because they're in the flood zone and there's a compensation area I see.
Yeah, we're taking a little bit out. We're taking a little bit out of there just in case, you know, so we're not displacing anything.
Sure. I just wanted to make sure I was correct with that. I wasn't quite sure.
Want to go to the landscape plan, Lance? Or Eric? Excuse me.
You want like the actual that the vendor.
There it is. Okay.
They're gonna do pavers?
What's that, Joyce?
They're gonna do pavers on the driveway?
It looks like it.
Permeable pavers, Joyce?
Guys, my audio is going on and off here, so it hasn't come back on during this review. So the ECB will have to look at this. I really can't make any comments because I can't hear what's going on. So if I go off, you know, that's because I am not able to receive the audio.
You should call in on the telephone number instead of trying to use your computer audio.
Yeah, probably a good idea, but I think this is the last one the ECB will be interested in as far as that.
Okay. But yeah, there is
Okay.
pavers in the driveway noted on the site plan.
And shrubs up along the top of the wall. Okay, gotcha. Looks nice. You have an elevation of the, oh, you do have the elevation. Yep, okay, we're good. Is that east? Yep.
That's from the lakeside.
Yeah, it's facing the lake.
Okay.
But Eric, if you go up a little bit, when I was talking that separation thing that Chris was talking, go down to the north elevation. That's kind of what he's doing. When I talked to the architect, he came up with there's like a 25% rule. I'm not exactly sure what he said about having glazing on that side, even with the distance from the wall. But like
Yeah, there is a rule for 25%. You're allowed 25% maximum of wall areas as far as openings, but it still is just, you have to go 1 hour fire separation both sides of the walls and stuff like that. It's
yeah,
just
he's
a poor
aware of all
decision.
that. They're doing that part of it. So that's definitely going to be in the design.
Okay. Well, you guys figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys need on this one?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
Doc, nothing's changing there. Plannings.
Lance, this is John, type 2 seeker.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Okay, thanks. Eric, does this go to Ontario County Planning?
Yeah, probably variance and site plan approval.
Okay,
If there's nothing else on it, then we'll move on. But that's the last one that will be for forward to MRB. The rest of them are single variant or site plans, or for the single family homes. It's probably the last one for the EC.
Yeah.
Does that mean you need me to leave, Eric?
Probably, I guess. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude.
No, that's all right.
We won't talk about you, Lance.
If I-
It's like really feedback.
I wanted to make quick note on a previous application that I don't think is coming to us. That's the Marks one where Chris mentioned concerns with drainage, or excuse me, with the disturbance. I agree with him. I think when it's a single family residential project, going over 1 acre isn't the end of the world for them. It isn't overly complicated for them to comply. So I think if it's not going to be referred to MRB group, the note should just reference that particular project, comply with town requirements and the 1 acre threshold, and be prepared to address that.
Cool.
It's not overly complicated for them to comply as a single family residential home.
We always comply with that stuff. Lance.
Oh, yeah, you guys do. It's a different project, so just throwing it out there. But anyhow, if something comes up, Eric, or you need me for something, please call me.
Okay.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, Lance.
Or Lance.
Yeah.
Hi, Lance.
Bye. I'm trying to hang up, so bear with me.
Joyce, are you hanging out for the remainder of the application?
Yeah, I'm going to. It's just too hard to hear. Okay, we'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks.
Bye, Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
See you later.
All right, so Anthony, you're still with us?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go over Carson then.
Okay.
So this one was subdivided off a couple of years ago, something like that.
Yeah, so we did the subdivision, and then he came in front of the zoning board
Yep.
for the barn, for the larger size, and also having it on a property without a main structure, and then also it's gonna be in front of the house, kind of thing. He got all those zoning variances done, put in the driveway, put in the barn. He installed a well, and now he would like to build the house. So private water, private septic. McCormick did the design, which I sent to you, Eric. So they're working on getting that approved because we shifted it from the original plan. So what it is we're gonna do a walkout on the east side. So there's enough grade to make it work. We're gonna try to get all that the water that comes above from the west around with the swale to get it out and around. We are more than 100 feet from that regulated freshwater wetland. I can put a dimension if you need it. It's like 130 feet. But,
To the structure or to the
to the structure. So
Yeah,
I-
as well.
say it again.
Then if you can, please.
Yeah, I'll add a couple dimensions to so we have the closest to the structure. So it's just going to be right now, it's just a single family home. I think I sent you the architectural plans too. So
Yeah, they're probably included here. Yep. They're on the FTP site for anybody interested in looking at them. There you go.
This is on 30 acres?
he's on 30 acres.
Don't worry about the neighbors.
No, he's way back from the road. You can see on that kind of blow up plan.
Did he
Most
or
of the
will,
property that he has, 75% of the land is in a wetland, a DEC regulated wetland. So we're outside of that.
Mhm.
So we're just raising that house up a little bit to get the water to to swale around it and to keep the basement dry and keep the land around the house dry.
Did he or will he pave out by Buffalo Street within the right of way?
Yeah, I believe it's required, isn't it?
It's required, and it doesn't. The driveway doesn't go that far.
I don't. We can make him do it. We can tell him that as soon as he gets C of O, once he's in and out of there with trucks and whatnot.
Yeah, put it on the plan somewhere.
I'll put a little note and a detail saying, the typical apron paving.
Does he have any corrals or fenced-in areas related?
No,
to
it just says the barn is for like work and like a wood shop and
okay, so
stuff for
no
that. There's
livestock.
it's not a barnyard type barn. It's more of construction materials, storage, lawnmowers, work vehicles, I believe.
Yeah.
Chris, do you have anything you need on this one?
Honestly, they have the driveway kind of in already, the barn's already in and stuff like that. They had gotten a variance previously for the size of the barn because I knew they were going to build the home. They're kind of staging equipment there. They have some stuff there, but yeah, no comments on this one. They're doing their best to stay out of the wetlands and everything else in this area.
All right. Again, I'll go through the checklist, see if there's anything else that we need on it. Do you have anything else, Chuck, on this one?
No, I'm good.
And Kyle, you already looked at it and sent an email if there's anything else that we needed.
Yep. I think they handed everything in. If not, I'll resend something out, but I'm pretty sure we have everything.
You have an ag statement? Or is that
I
already
did
been done?
ask for that.
I just think they're crazy having a basement on this site, to tell you the truth, but that's my only comment. They kind of have a walkout basement.
It's a noted comment. I understand that. It's a wet site.
Yeah.
I had that conversation with him. I think did we do the ag statement?
I know Mr. Carson came in, so I'm not sure if he filled one out.
Well, you should have one from the last go around with the zoning. Do we have to refill that out? It should be on your records.
Yeah, probably should refill it out though, just because the project's different. Yeah.
We can do that.
If there's nothing else with this one, then we'll let Anthony go and work through the last two.
All right. Thanks, guys. Is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
that's
get you the minutes as soon as we can.
All right,
Thanks, Ed.
Chris. I'll have Pete Heinzelman call you today.
No, and I understand he can do the 25% stuff like that and the 1 hour fire resistance. I just want to make sure because we've had emails, and I'll probably email Frank, the chief of city, and ask him to respond to it as far as proximity, because they've had proximity concerns in the past about having enough water on that street and having enough access.
I
and
understand
stuff like
that. I just want to make sure that, because like I said, the design of the house is above what I'm doing, and I had that. I just want to
Yeah,
make sure.
no, I understand. I just don't want to go through all this and then
I know. I'm going to have him reach out to
start
you,
again.
just so he knows.
Okay, thanks, man.
Yep, not a problem. Thanks,
right.
guys.
Yep.
So next up, we'll do the growth for Dan O'Bine.
Yeah, this is kind of a small site. Obine's had it for a few years.
Yeah. Order permission. That's really all I need, I guess.
Doing what he can to fit inside the setback requirements on that lot.
Yeah, just barely inside.
Yeah.
Actually,
Our code does read that stairs don't have to meet it, so the stairs might poke out on one side and stuff like that, but I'm not a concern.
what stairs are you talking about here on the porch?
He doesn't show any stairs on it because I think he was worried about it, but our section of code as far as setbacks and overhangs don't include stairs.
This one's relatively straightforward. You have anything, Chuck, that you want to see on this one?
Driveway, he's got that.
The only concern I have on this is drainage, because it looks like it drains it kind of towards the neighbor's property. It would be nice if they made sure they maintain that swale, because it looks like there's a swale on either side. As long as they maintain it, so I don't get phone calls about the neighbor's property getting wet because he's draining stuff to theirs property. And as far as I'd like to see downspouts and where stuff like that's being directed.
Looks like right here. Splash pad for outlet protection.
Yeah, but it's kind of aimed at the adjacent property.
Yeah.
And that swale. So as long as everyone's on board with that, because we got Quail Summit right behind them, and then I've already heard from the neighbor before in the past.
All right. Pretty sure they submitted everything they need to. Looks like we'll be able to make a quick determination on this one. This one won't have to go to the county. And all the other referrals, relatively simple. They're going to change that signature, but I'll include that in the checklist. Anything else on this one, guys?
Eric, seeker is a type 2 action, single family house?
I don't know, but I believe so. It's a Lance question, really, when he prepares the resolutions.
I wouldn't mind if they prepared the original survey or provided the original survey to go along with this.
Okay. Can you make a note of that, John? Provide the reference survey.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. All right. Done with this one. Go to our last application.
We should do this every time. This is quick.
Actually, I can't pull up the site plan. It's not scanned in terribly well, but I'll go over it real quickly. This one's just a ZBA application. This is the one that, Chuck, this is the one Bob was talking about on Johnson Road.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So she has this existing barn right there. She wants to put a couple horses in it. I guess there's already horse stalls in it.
She was having them built right now.
Oh, okay, so it is.
And that's why she called. She was like, "Do I need a permit?" I'm like, what? She bought a house not kind of looking into the code and stuff like that. So she wants to house horses in that, and it's not the minimum required 100 feet from the property line, but the property line is Johnson Road. It's not a neighbor's property line, so.
Yep. I would imagine the zoning board will probably give it to them, but they just got the one variance that they need as far as we can tell right now. They meet the lot size requirement to allow horses, and don't need to go to planning board, so it's just a single area variance. Is there anything, I know we don't have a ZBA rep on the PRC, but is there anything anybody can foresee as far as what we might need to ask for here? We definitely need a sketch plan.
Yeah.
The thing is we actually have, she provided a existing survey, so it kind of shows the setback.
Oh, that's great. I think it was just we couldn't get it scanned in time or whatever.
Okay.
Okay, but that's it for this one then, I guess. It's relatively simple, just being a variance. So I will do the checklist stuff. Kyle's going to get started on some draft determinations.
Yep.
And Chuck,
Eric, and you will also do the referral sheet?
yep, still gonna do the referral sheet too, and then I'll scan them in and email them out to everybody.
Okay.
Here,
I'll go through the checklist to the open circle and put those in the minutes.
Okay, yeah.
did the chicken coop withdraw or just didn't need the variance?
Didn't need a variance.
Ah, okay.
I'm not sure why he applied for a variance in the first place, but
Probably see more of them.
what's
I
that?
mean, as far as chicken coops.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't buy it at Wegmans, you got to raise your own.
I'm happy with when they make application for chicken coops because they usually stick them right on the property line and the neighbor complains, or some people don't even use coops and stuff. So this is a good thing.
God bless you.
Chuck, is there anything you need from us before the meeting tomorrow?
I'm sorry, was that to me?
You're kind of broken up there, Eric.
Oh,
Sorry. Chuck, is there anything you need from us before the meeting tomorrow, or want to discuss anything for our meeting tomorrow?
no, just make sure on that Brickyard sketch plan that they're aware it's not the one that was sent to them. It's the one that's on the FTP site that we're going to be looking at.
Yep, I'll send that out.
And other than that, I think we're good to go.
Cool.
And
Catch you later, gentlemen.
And we decided not to have Chris involved, right?
What's that?
We decided not to have Chris Nadler involved?
Yep.
All right, okay. But we will have Lance. Okay. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, stay safe.
Take care.
Sounds good.
We'll see you, Eric.
Hey, John.